Michael Crawford.
Without a doubt, the Phantom of the Opera himself is the best-known Broadway personage of this entire Broadway season, which makes it all the more startling that the Phantom of the Opera himself is, at the very same time, not at all well-known and even downright misunderstood.
He has to be an extraordinary man. He mustn't just be an actor with makeup on.
You expect to find him appealing, don't you, somehow?
Yes, I do, in the theater, not on the street. I would pay $50 to see him here. I don't want to see him around the corner.
Well, if the Phantom, in fact, actor Michael Crawford, walked a New York street, as he very often does, there probably would be no great thrill of recognition, and there certainly would be no cause for alarm.
I don't like you. If I like you, I take you. But I don't like you. Get out of my cab. And welcome to New York.
Yes.
The role of the Phantom of the Opera is not remotely a comic one, but the actor who plays the tormented composer so intensely is irrepressibly comic, as was clearly evident of a quiet afternoon in the upper reaches of Sardis.
I can walk to work and I can walk home again.
And no one knows who you are.
And no one knows who I am.
Well, I'm sure that somebody might say, oh, that's Michael Crawford. That does happen. It must happen.
My agent said that once. But he hasn't said that again in about a month or so.
Mr. Crawford's showbiz background is comedy, abundantly comedy. Why, a few years back, he was even voted the funniest man on British television. And then there were those movies.
There will never be happiness.
We must learn to be happy without it.
In the late 60s, he was a young romantic comic hero opposite Zero Mostel in A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. And in the movie Hello, Dolly, he starred opposite Walter Matthau.
That's a foolish age to be at. I thought you were 40.
No, I'm 28 3/4.
And Barbara Streisand.
1, 2, 3.
Look! I'm dancing!
When I play comedy, I'm sure that I'm influenced by Buster Keaton, Harold Lloyd, and Laurel and Hardy, who are my greatest heroes. All these films, because I haven't made many films in between, because I worked in the theatre for many years, you see these sort of little tiny legs running around in films, and there's in Hello, Dolly and Forum. But they were great experiences.
For Crawford, all work experiences are learning experiences, and that includes the work of others.
If it's played to its full, which is what Chaney did, he epitomizes what I'm saying about an artist loving his profession. He was passionate. He went to all this trouble in his mouth and his nostrils. He went into it in such a way that his love for that girl was extraordinary. Well, we all love great passion.
Turn your thoughts away from cold and feeling light.
Finally, it is, of course, Michael Crawford alone. Michael Crawford reaching deep down into his usually comic self to create the horror figure of the Phantom of the Opera in a performance that is neither comic nor horror, only intensely human.
It's to do with the great thing about love and sensitivity from his point of view. I can't stand from where an audience is. I stand from where I try to build the man and what he feels. And I just feel enormous love, enormous passion, caring, wanting. And I give as much of myself, my body, that I can give to those emotions.